Let us now turn our attention to a Vartikam under the Sutram 2224, Anekam Anya Padarthe. Recall that the meaning of that Sutram 2224 is two or more terms having the designation padam and ending in the nominative case may optionally compound to yield a bahuvrihi compound provided the terms are employed to denote the sense of another padam which is not part of the compound. We have of course looked at 2224 in detail. The Vartikam we are going to take now expands the scope of 2224 to justify compounding in those cases where there is an additional operation required in forming the compound. Let's take a look at the Vartikam so we can better understand what this means. The Vartikam reads Saptam Yupamana Purvapadasyo Tarpadalopascha. Saptami Upamana Purvapadasya Uttarpada cha, which means that a compound padam which contains either a padam ending in the seventh case or a padam which denotes a standard of comparison drops its uttarapadam, the final member, when it combines with another padam to yield a bahuvrihi compound. Note here says that compounding is already prescribed by the Sutram 2224, Anekam Anya Padarthe itself. It is only for the elision of the uttarapadam of the compound purvapadam that this Vartikam is necessary. So the only thing the Vartikam does is to allow for that extra operation which is the elision of the uttarapadam of the compound purvapadam. To become clear as we take a couple of examples here. The first example is Kanthe sthaha kalo yasya saha equals Kanthe kalaha, qualifying Shri Rudraha. He, Lord Rudra, who has black poison in his throat. Let us first briefly look at the formation of the compound purvapadam which is Kantesthaha. We have already seen a post dated October 12, 2012 where we derived the compound Gajasthaha. Gaje tishtatiti Gajasthaha. The steps in deriving Kantesthaha are very similar to those in deriving Gajasthaha. Vigrahavakyam here is Kanthe tishtatiti Kantesthaha. So we don't have to go into all the steps in detail. Very briefly, what happens here is that the Sutram 324 Supisthaha, in fact just the first part of the Sutram, Supi, is used to bring in the affix ka following the verbal root stha with gaja plus ni, in our case kantha plus ni as the upapadam. Then after doing anubandha lopaha and applying ato lopa iticha 6464, we get kantha ni stha. Now the Sutram 2219 upapadamatting is used to form the compound, and in the compound kantha ni is placed in the prior position because that is the upasajanam, and as per 2230 upasajanam purvam it takes the prior position. At this point we would normally use the Sutram 2471 supo dhatu pradipatikayoho to perform the look elision on the supaffix ni which is inside the compound pradipadikam, but in our case a special rule comes into play. The special rule is 6312 which reads amurdhamastakat swangada which means a seventh case affix following a pradipadikam other than murdha or mastaka which denotes a part of one's body and ends in either a consonant or the letter a does not take the look elision when followed by a uttarapadam which is other than kama. Right now we have kantha as the purvapadam. It denotes a part of the body, the throat. It ends in the letter a and is followed by uttarapadam which is tha, which is different from kama. So therefore the seventh case affix following kantha does not take the look elision. Sutram 6312 prevents that affix ni from taking the look elision. So the final form of the compound is kantesthaha and not kantasthaha. Okay, so far we've derived kantesthaha which is the compound purvapadam of the final bahuvrihi compound. Let us now derive that bahuvrihi compound. The alaukika vigraha is kantestha su plus kala su, compounding prescribed by the Sutram 2224 Anekam Anya Padarthe. Because we have two terms here which have the padasanya, they are both ending in the nominative case affix, in this case su, and the resulting compound is denoting a padam which is not in the compound. So the pradhana padam which is Shri Rudra, is outside the compound, and hence the conditions for applying 2224 are satisfied. Now, as per Sutram 2235, Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau, the adjective Kantestha Su is placed in the prior position in the compound. Now, Kantestha Su plus Kala Su gets the designation Pratipadikam by 1246 Krittadita Samasascha, because we have formed a Samasaha. This allows us to apply 2471 Supodhatu Pratipadikayoho to perform the look elision on the sup affixes Su and Su which are inside the compound Pratipadikam. So now we have Kantestha Kala. At this point we use the Swartikam Saptam Yupamana Purvapadasyottarapadalopascha to perform the lopaha of the Uttarapadam of the compound Purvapadam. The Uttarapadam of the compound Purvapadam is Stha. So that is what takes lopaha as authorized by this Vartikam. Because we do have a compound Padam which contains a Padam ending in a seventh case, and it has combined with a Uttarapadam to yield a Bahuvrihi compound. So all the conditions for applying the Vartikam are satisfied, and therefore the Uttarapadam Stha of the compound Purvapadam takes lopaha, and we get the final Bahuvrihi compound Pratipadikam as Kanthe Kala. Now the gender of a Bahuvrihi compound matches that of which it qualifies. Present example Shri Rudra is being qualified, hence we assign the masculine gender to the compound Pratipadikam Kanthe Kala. Declines like Rama Shabdaha, Prathama Ekvachanam is Kanthe Kalaha. Let us now take an example of a Bahuvrihi compound wherein the Purvapadam contains a Upamanam, a standard of comparison. The example here is Ushtrasya Mukham Iva Mukham Yasya Saha equals Ushtra Mukhaha Purushaha. He, meaning the man, whose face is like the face of a camel. Now the Purva Padam Ushtra Mukham is a very simple Shashti Tat Purushaha compound, nothing complicated there. The compound is broken down as Ushtrasya Mukham equals Ushtra Mukham. It is formed using the Sutram 228 Shashti, which we know very well. Now the Alaukika Vigraha of the Bahuvrihi compound is Ushtra Mukha Su plus Mukha Su, compounding authorized by the Sutram 2224, because we have two terms which have the designation Padam, which are each ending in the nominative case, and they are combining to form a compound which denotes someone who is not represented in the compound. The entire compound is an adjective to Purushaha. Purushaha is not in the compound. Therefore, the conditions for applying 2224 Anekam Anya Padarthe are satisfied. Now, as per the Sutram 2235, Saptami Visheshane Bahuvrihau, the adjective Ushtra Mukha Su is placed in the prior position in the compound. One small note here is that in the Laukika Vigraha, we have Ushtrasya Mukham Iva Mukham Yasya Saha. What happened to that Iva in the Alaukika Vigraha? What is really happening here is that in the Alaukika Vigraha, the Ushtra Mukha is really standing for Ushtra Mukha Sadrisha. That is understood, and hence the Iva does not figure in the Alaukika Vigraha, because it is clear from the meaning of the compound that Ushtra Mukha is standing for Ushtra Mukha Sadrisha, similar to or like the face of a camel. Okay, now Ushtra Mukha Su plus Mukha Su gets the designation Pratipadikam by the Sutram 1246 Krittadita Samasascha, because we have formed a Samasaha. This allows 2471 Supodhatu Pratipadikayoho to apply in the next step to perform the look elision of the sup affixes Su and Su which are inside the compound Pratipadikam. So now we get Ushtra Mukha Mukha. Now we apply this Vartikam Saptam Yupamana Purvapadasyottarapadalopascha to perform the lopaha elision of the Uttarapadam, which is Mukha of the compound Purvapadam Ushtra Mukha. We had Ushtra Mukha Mukha, but now by the Vartikam the Uttarapadam Mukha of the Purvapadam Ushtra Mukha is elided, so now we get Ushtra Mukha as the final Bahuvrihi compound Pratipadikam. The reason we could apply the Vartikam here is that Mukha, meaning face or mouth, is the Upamanam. somebody's face or mouth is being compared to the face or mouth of a camel. So since the compound Purvapadam Ushtra contains the Upamanam, so we apply the Vartikam to elide the Uttarapadam Mukha of the compound Purvapadam Ushtra to finally get Ushtra Mukha as the Bahuvrihi compound Pradipadikam. Now as usual, the gender of a Bahuvrihi compound matches that of which it qualifies. In the present example, Purusha has been qualified, hence we assign the masculine gender to the compound Pradipadikam Ushtra Mukha. Decline like Rama Shabdaha. Prathama Ekvachanam is Ushtra Mukhaha. We can similarly form the following compounds. Chandrasya Kantirriva Kantiryasya Saha equals Chandra Kantihi Naraha. He, a man whose luster is like the luster of the moon. Now even though Kanti is a feminine Pradipadikam, the Bahuvrihi compound Pradipadikam Chandra Kanti is masculine because it's qualifying Naraha. Declines like Hari Shabdaha. So here Kanti, the luster is the Upamanam. Similarly from the Bhagavad Gita, Vrukasyodaram Ivodaram Yasya Saha Vrukodaraha Bhimaha. He, meaning Bhimaha, whose stomach is like the stomach of a wolf. Here the Udaram, stomach, is the Upamanam, the standard of comparison. The verse from Gita is in chapter 1, verse 15. Paundram Dadbho Mahashankam Bhima Karma Vrukodaraha. Good example of this class of compounds from the Bhagavad Gita. The example Ushtra Mukha which we looked at is such a standard and famous example of this class of compounds where the Upamanam is in the Purvapadam of a Bahuvrihi compound and this Vartikam is used to elide the Uttarapadam of the Purvapadam, that whenever there is such a compound, the commentator might simply say Ushtramukhadi Vatsamasaha. So it's very important that we keep this example in mind, this example which is Ushtrasya Mukham Iva Mukham Yasya Saha equals Ushtramukaha Purushaha, because this class of compounds has taken its name based on this example.